Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Taylor, and I'm here to talk to you about deer hunting and why it is an effective conservational tool. So my objectives for today, I want you to know and understand the importance of deer hunting as an important tool for our conservation, and I want you to recognize how hunting can positively benefit other wildlife and even ourselves as well. So first off, hunting for wildlife has played a part by man for decades to come. We've all learned in history classes about how the cavemen lived in caves and hunted the cougars and everything. We've seen all the cave drawings. So it's been around for a long time. Even during colonial times, Native Americans hunted white-tailed deer through different ways, such as lighting fires to chase the deer, running around on their horses and shooting them with bows. And once the guns introduced, that really changed the way the hunting was done. But now more than ever, hunting is desperately needed to control our wildlife populations, such as white-tailed deer. So across the world, hunting takes place, just about in every country. There might be one such as Antarctica where it's probably slim to none, but from the African savanna even to our backyards, probably with even your hometowns, hunting takes place, but it's under fire. Many claim that it's cruel to the animals, and they question the concept of hunting an animal in order to conserve it. So, to give you a more in-depth perspective, I'm going to focus on the one type of hunting, which is deer hunting, to show how it can be a perfect conservation tool and help protect the species. Here you can see the lion. We all remember the Cecil the lion and the killing of that. While it wasn't exactly a good thing that happened, hunting such as even big game hunting over there is an important part that raises money and allows for the conservation of other species as well. So white-tailed deer population levels. During the 1700s and the 1800s, their population levels crashed due to overhunting. When the settlers came over here, they didn't have any bag limits or quotas. They shot simply what they needed. Also, market hunting during the 1800s took a large toll on the animals, as well as habitat destruction from settlers moving out west. Since then, during the 1900s, restoration levels have really been able to increase the populations. But the problem is now there are few to no predators in many areas, especially around here and even farther east. Predators such as wolves, bears, and cougars have been eliminated from many habitats, leaving only humans. There are a few exceptions, but such as the coyotes are making a comeback, and bobcats, but they're not a huge factor of predation on deer. As you can see in the handout, such as discussed here, suburban areas where there are no predators and a lot of potted plants such as orchids and all other plants give deer a variety of food and no predators. So that creates high concentration of deer, which can be a major problem. So how can hunting positively affect deer and other wildlife? Well, high concentration levels of deer can promote the spread of lethal diseases throughout the deer. A big one is chronic wasting disease, which is where deer become very sick. You look at them and basically they're rotting away. You can look and tell at one, you can see its bones, its rib cage is exposed. It's really thin. A lot of times they won't even be afraid of humans, and that can be spread from other deer. Once deer populations exceed carrying capacity, overgrazing can also occur, which once all the browse has been eaten, the deer either have to move on or starve. This can also affect other wildlife species as well, such as migratory songbirds and rabbits. Here you can see in this picture they have a fenced off enclosure where the deer can't get to. You can see all
You can just start back.
You can see all of the browse growing. Here where the deer can get to, you can see how they've eaten basically everything away. Also, when a hunter buys a hunting license, majority of that money goes towards the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries for their state, as well as for funding public land. So, when they buy a hunting license, they're helping everybody out if you enjoy hiking, biking, whatever, such as on Brush Mountain. How can it affect humans? Harvesting a deer provides food for families. Now more than ever, people are looking for food that is organic and free range, well, that would be the white-tailed deer. They're not enclosed in a pen. They're able to wander wherever they want, and they're also able to eat just about anything they want. The money spent from hunters helps to stimulate local and state economies. As I said, the money goes to fund the state agencies, but as well as helps small businesses stay afloat. Hunting also helps to control the deer population numbers. It can help to reduce crop damage, as you can see on your handouts in the second picture, where a farmer's looking at all of the corn that's been smashed by wildlife. Hunting can also help reduce the amount of vehicle-to-deer related accidents, as you can see in the last picture there, where a deer clearly jumped out in front of a car. Those can be serious in some cases, where not only does it raise your insurance rate, but it also can cause injury or even fatality. In that picture, you can see the deer hoof is sticking through the hood of the car as well as the antlers. If that hits you in the head, it would not be a good day. Reducing deer populations can also help reduce the spread of wildlife to human diseases, such as Lyme disease and Lone Star tick disease. As I said, money also raised from hunting license helps to promote public land, which all helps us out. So even if you want to go bird watch, essentially a hunter helped pay for that land. So the outcome. Deer hunting and hunting in general can positively benefit targeted game species, but other species as well, and even ourselves, and the environment. Hunting helps to fund crucial wildlife habitat across the country. Hunting benefit in many aspects, from healthy food to reduce crop damage, and allowing more human to nature interactions. Lastly, as for hunting being cruel, I say that in many cases, nature can even be more cruel than hunting. So when, for an example, a pheasant or even a duck, when they die in nature, we often think as in about passing away in their sleep, but chances are that's not true. They're going to be caught by the hawk and torn apart, or hit by a vehicle, or the deer might be hit by a vehicle or succumb to some disease. I'd prefer to think that a hunter was able to make an ethical shot on the animal and that it suffered minimal to no pain. Here's my references. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay, can we get Miss Hannah?
Did you stop it?